Dear Neil, I've watched your videos over the last couple of years from time to time, and I can see a man reaching the end of your tether, at the end of a journey of certainly of this country. That you can see what's happening, and you're helpless to stop it. But you illustrate that desperation that you're feeling extremely well, not as a sense of desperation, but as a sense of loss, grief. What's happened? What has happened? Now, Neil, believe it or not, I believe I can fill in all the gaps for you and let you know what's happening to this country. And that I have a document which is the sword from the stone. So, Dr. Victor Levy, 1915, is a physicist engineer. He was a physicist in 1906 and an engineer in 1915. And the 1915 dissertation is a gatekeeper document into engineering that's sewn there by physics, by a physicist, and it's remained there ever since. Now, 1915 takes you through to 1927 and the Copenhagen interpretation of the double slit. The ether exists. Particles are cavitation. When you turn the monitor on, you're monitoring the internal clamping action of the rigid body instant. When you're seeing the wave, you're seeing what happens to that particle in the duration of Planck's constant. Motion in the ether causes disturbance. So the double slit proves that the ether exists. And that was made illegal. That solution was made illegal in 1850 by the Helmholtz School pledge that you couldn't have it. And in 1927, they launched the uncertainty principle. The Copenhagen interpretation of the double slit experiment is such a load of bollocks, Neil. Such a load of bollocks. That when you see that there is a simple and intuitive solution, you go, why can't we have that? Why can't we look at that? And the reason is because of its classified nuclear physics. In 1942, the Portland Cement Association launched the first edition of circular concrete tanks without pre-stressing. And in that document, they include a raft of coefficient tables, and they don't tell you where those coefficient tables come from, because they're sealing the door, 1942, to the Manhattan Project. So the nuclear physics is being guided towards building a weapon, and that the door has been closed in engineering so that engineers can't see that there's a definite break between the two. In 1993, the third edition, 65-second, third edition of this document was issued. It still stands in engineering today, and it still doesn't tell you what the theory is. Pointedly tells you, we're not telling you what the theory is. Now, when you link it back up, when you link Dr. Levy back up with that document, revealing the secrets of nuclear physics, classified nuclear physics, you find a single fact shouting at you, Neil. The Earth's the center of the universe. The sun and the solar system goes around us. We're not a wandering star. You get it? We see the other planets and we lump ourselves in with them. Don't. We're the center. The sun goes around us, and there's the axis of the universe. And there's a simple force-based model based on waves and twists and being held and binding forces and massive compression. Simple. Once you can take the step that the Earth is the center of the universe. And I can now prove it categorically, 100%, Neil. And I believe that it's the corruption of this document, this engineering document, because I've been working with the Institution of Civil Engineers, or trying working with them, telling them, shouting at them, telling everybody about this problem with referencing in engineering, and nobody wants to know. Because it leads to this piece of information, Neil. And that when you know the Earth's the center of the universe, you can see, God exists here. And then once you can see that God exists, you've proved that God exists, you can then see that the words of the Christ, the New Testament, are the words that God wants us to hear. The behavior that God wants us to follow are the words of Christ. Because the words of Christ are the echo of every time God speaks to us, he sends us a messenger, a Messiah, to give us information. It's our job to hear it, but we have to choose to hear it, you see. So I believe that there's unification is coming for the Jews and for Islam. They are going to accept Christ as the Messiah because of the engineering of Dr. Victor Levy. I know, it sounds impossible, but please, give me 10 minutes. Take me seriously. I've been working on this for 4 years, and I'm a loyal and patriotic citizen, subject of a country which I want to be Christian. And I want to live in a Christian world with Christian morality, because that's a high trust society restored to us. So those of us who have fought the good fight are about to win, Neil. But how do I get my message out? How can I tell anyone about this? I've tried and tried. I need someone to platform me. Will you give me a chance? Please, give me a chance. Give us a chance. Give peace a chance. Thanks for listening. Speak to you soon. Follow the Rebel King.